Westworld did its wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey reveal. Was this the big one for the season, or the first of many what the fucks to come? And was it done well? We're going to talk about Caleb and Maeve. We're going to talk about Caleb and Maeve's showdown with Halores and the Man in Black. We're going to talk about Christina's blind date, and we're going to get the lowdown with Bernard. It's the Watchers on the Couch. Welcome back to Watchers on the Couch. Today we're going to discuss episode 4 of season 4, Generation Loss. I'm Tim Pickerill.
And I'm Mike Daffron.
And Mike and I are going to fight this episode, apparently. Because
no, for jokes.
We're gonna get into it. Like right off the bat, we're gonna talk about our spoiler-free initial thoughts. Mike, let's start with you, because when I texted you immediately after the episode, we were divided. So you've had some time to either get more angry or cool off. So let's see if I need to find another co-host for Westworld Season 5.
Hey, man, I just thought this episode was kind of
bullshit.
But, no, I was just kind of disappointed. I didn't think it was all that good. There was a lot of things like that just seemed silly as far as how things went down. And it's kind of a typical Westworld complaints that I have, in a sense, I guess. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, there's it just didn't play out very well, in my opinion. It's hard for me to describe without, being spoiler free.
For sure. I like the episode. It leaves more questions than it has answers, which is fine. We're halfway through the season now, so we've got 4 more episodes for it to completely shit the bed. So we were right with some of our theories, and we were wrong about some other ones, and we discovered the weapon that Bernard was talking about, and that is the big bullshit that I have with the episode.
He found the weapon. He's like, I know where the weapon is. It's in my pants.
Oh no.
It's this dick.
Because I have something you don't have.
This dick.
Sounds like Batman.
That's what's so special about Caleb.
He's Batman.
No. Well, I don't know. I guess. I mean, fucking most of the time how Caleb talks.
When he talks.
What is going on? I'm always so confused. He's more like the Batman from Bad Man. You know, the one that Pete Holmes does from College Humor years ago.
I don't know
what's going on.
Oh my God. All it is grunts and gasps. That's like half his dialogue this episode.
Yeah. And if you would watch it on with captions on, it's like pants.
Pants and groans. I've got something you don't. Pants.
Pants. It's hot in these pants.
So the Westworld subreddit seems to be divided. By the way, Mike and I are actually active in the Westworld subreddit now. I am a Reddit avoider because I don't want to get sucked down rabbit holes and read Reddit all day. But I had to go on after this episode, and there's some division there, but mostly the hot posts are like, man, this episode blew my fucking mind. It's like, really? This is season 4 of Westworld. That's what blew your mind? Yeah. Like, okay. But it was
they're all Caleb's in Reddit, all right?
They're all Caleb's all the way down. Yep. Everybody crying when they see Teddy. Which brings us to part 1 of the recap. We're going to talk about the Christina / Maya story arc. The good thing about this is there's not a lot that's going on. There's some very interesting stuff that happens in the morning times where Christina oversleeps and Maya comes in and wakes her up. And it's, hey, how long have you been up painting? And, I slept so long. Okay. So we find out that Maya also has nightmares. Maybe. And she proceeds to relay a nightmare that she had when she was young, or like she's a kid in this dream sequence where her family's on a picnic and everybody gets attacked by flies and it essentially kills her parents. And then they came for her. Cut to black.
Probably just had a bunch of bad food. I mean, it's probably just, some spoiled food at the picnic.
Yeah, I mean, you bring potato salad to a fucking picnic outside, you're getting flies. That's how that works.
Yeah, probably had a bunch of soda, sweet stuff,
Mhm.
Flies around. What are you going to do? I wouldn't think too much into it, Tim.
Yeah,
Just
I
up to
mean, it can't be something else. Then she sees Christina's painting, which is a replica or a painting of the tower, which looks a whole lot like just the one that she took out of that guy's room and just hung it up and pretended it was hers. Fucking plagiarist.
She took it from that hospital.
Yeah.
She paid that guy off on the street like, hey, give me one of those.
And then Maya's looking at it pretty intently, and we get does it look like anything to you? And we're waiting for it, and we don't get it. Doesn't seem like Maya's a host.
I guess not. Yep. I think she is probably the outlier.
Yes, probably true.
I mean, it could be Christine, but I doubt that. Because I think their group is looking for humans. And I don't think Christine is a human. To me, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Right. No, there's no way that Christine's a human.
Yeah, just paint these pictures. Like, come on, give me the damn line, all right? You put it out there. Give me the line.
Yeah. Stop taking
doesn't
my
look like anything to me.
So after seeing the painting, Maya basically just says, I think you need to get out of the house. I need to get out of the house. Let's go get you some of that good D.
You need to get some of this dick.
That's something you don't. You don't know that. You haven't seen me with my pants off. You don't know what my robot bits are like. It's my downstairs mix-up. I'm old Dolores.
Yeah.
So we go to the bar. It's the one bar that they go to. It's basically the central perk in Friends of bars in Westworld. There's just this one bar that they go to all the time, where she's getting all dolled up with her lipstick. She drops her lipstick. A masculine hand picks up the lipstick and hands it to her. Oh, it's sexy Teddy Flood.
Don't mind me. Just trying to be
chivalrous. The interesting thing about this, their little date sequence, Christina and Teddy have their date. They have some conversation back and forth. Teddy seems to have his memories.
I don't know. I think so. If I had to make a prediction of Teddy, I would say Teddy was in the Sublime and he decided that he didn't want to be there anymore. And he is still in love with Dolores, has love for Dolores, and he came out of the Sublime to find her.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
So here's the thing about the Sublime that doesn't make sense then. Like, can you just like jettison, like your body doesn't go to the Sublime. Like the Sublime is just data. You have to have like somebody in the meat world print you out a body.
That's the only thing I can't think of, like how we got printed. So, yeah, I could be completely wrong about that. I mean, when I was watching it,
I was confused.
But yeah, it seemed
he definitely doesn't seem like Teddy, or at least I don't know. He doesn't seem like dum Teddy. You know, he does seem like woke Teddy.
Woke Teddy.
Just trying to be chivalrous.
Woke Teddy is my favorite. That's what we're calling him from now on. But yeah, he remembers that he was a bounty hunter at some point.
He's the Mandalorian.
Unless he thinks he's like a modern day Dog the Bounty Hunter, like that's a story that Christina wrote for him.
Yeah.
And
he's like, yeah, I used to be somewhat of a dick slinger. I mean gunslinger. Oh, how sweet. What's your name again?
Stop hitting
I didn't
me.
get it. I didn't get your fucking name. We don't even know that his name's Teddy.
That's true.
She doesn't either.
Oh, that's true. We only know his name's Teddy from the closed captioning.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the closed captioning on. Because this season, Mike, I'm with you. Like with this new fly drone sound that they have. Boom. Dude, it masks everything. It's hard to tell what people are saying when that shit's going on. But yeah, Teddy has his memories. It seems he has a lot of dialogue that is reminiscent of things that Dolores has told him in the past seasons. He mentions the train circling a small tracker, however that line goes. She thinks he seems familiar. He feels like he's known her lifetime. So I think we both have hosts. Teddy seems to know what's going on. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any good predictions. I don't know if this is Dolores, but they're trying to create her to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Teddy isn't Teddy. Maybe Teddy is one of the Dolores pearls. And
Dolores is
they're
hitting on
trying to
herself.
keep her on a certain path.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's possible.
I don't know. To get to the Sublime, to get to that password, or I don't know, to find Bernard, or I don't have, like I said, I don't have any good predictions of what's happening there.
I've got a prediction, and we'll get to that in the prediction segment, or I guess we could talk about it a little now, because you mentioned it about Maya being the outlier, and we're going to get to that's part of part 2 where there's an outlier that apparently needs to be rescued. I think either Maya is an outlier or she's something else entirely and she knows exactly what's going on. I think it's one of those two things. I feel like she's either slightly resistant to the flies because she remembers them and that might be enough to make her an outlier, or she knows what the flies are and she's part of the resistance or some sort of resistance, maybe not C's resistance, but another resistance. She's the one that's leaving the maze puzzle. She's giving her the pointed looks when she's talking about her fly dream. She's the one telling her to pick a side with the white and black shoes. She's the one that's setting her up on these shitty dates that eventually lead to Teddy.
All right. Okay. What if she is part of the resistance? What if she actually is? And she's just trying to get Dolores, Christine, to, I guess, start to remember things, to start to get fidelity in a sense or whatever. What if Teddy is part of the resistance?
Yeah. It's
maybe
possible.
We're working together. I don't really think this is the case, but that's possible.
Well, who could print a Teddy at this point? We know Hale can print a Teddy. So this could be a big Haloris mindfuck game for Christina because she just really doesn't like Christina. Because
can the resistance print a Teddy? I don't know how they would know Teddy or why they would even want to use a robot, though.
Right.
So that doesn't really make much sense.
Which means the only other thing that I can think of is that DeLawrence is still out there and he can print a Teddy. And DeLawrence has his own. Yeah. DeLawrence has his own resistance.
And we do see him in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. But he is not on IMDb in this season. I cheated and I looked. Mm-hmm. I didn't look because of that. I looked because I wanted to see the Asian American actor's name who leads the resistance. Mm-hmm. And it's not on there.
Well, his name is Jay.
I know. Once I went back and rewatched it, it's Jay, you're an asshole. It's like,
okay, now C and J. CJ.
CJ's.
You don't know what it is?
Can't afford it.
Or JC.
So that's the big question is who brought Teddy back? Or can Teddy bring himself back? Which would be weird, but there's so much weird going on that I wouldn't put the past the writers to go, oh yeah, he can just spit himself out of the Sublime.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me, but okay.
I don't know if there's someplace that's active that is printing host bodies, and if you're in the Sublime, maybe it's possible to connect to the real world and find a back door into the computers that, run the things that make host bodies and make it print a Teddy body. And then you upload yourself into that. I could see that, being plausible.
The only other thing that I
But I don't know how Sublime works. I mean, I think this whole series is going to end that everybody is in their own Sublime or something. Like, it's going to be some stupid ominous ending.
That's going to be a really
to
dumb
this
ending.
series.
It's just going to be
like Akichida talks about everybody has their own worlds. Like, they're not all together. They all build their own fucking worlds. So you could easily say, like, oh, well, actually what you were watching was Bernard in his own world. And then you were watching Christine in her own world in the Sublime. And you know what I mean? Like, it could be something really silly like that.
It's going to be it's going to be something where it's like every character gets a Sopranos ending where it just cuts to black and you never know what happens to them. Fucking HBO. You don't know how to end anything. Best shows on TV, but they all end bad.
Yeah.
So that's it for the Christina and Maya and Teddy stuff. Like, that just ends at their toast as Teddy toasts her, and good luck to on whatever your path may be. I'm not going to tell you my name. Haha, I'm sick.
Overall, I thought this whole scene was a little bland, or it wasn't bad or anything. Just like a little bland. Now, with that said, doesn't mean, like, I'm actually really interested in kind of what's happening there, maybe more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because mystery box there.
Yeah, we get to see it the least.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. We get to see it the least, and we get to... It mainly brings up more questions about Maya. And then the main question is, what the fuck is going on with Teddy? The other possibility is maybe Teddy didn't get printed. Maybe somebody just repaired the old Teddy body.
Oh, yeah.
Because, well, I don't know. Did his brain... I don't know how that works. I guess she took his brain ball. Actually, did she?
Yeah, I
know he shot himself in the head, so his body's still there. Because we found him washed up.
His brain ball still works. Come on, no robot dies.
Nobody dies.
Nobody dies in the show.
Nobody
Tim.
dies.
So it's all possible. Even Caleb doesn't fucking die.
Oh man. So we'll move on to part 2, and this is always in order of importance to the episode. So yes, Christina and Maya's story is of the least importance, least impact for this episode. Part 2, though, Bernard, Stubbs, and C. This is where things start to get a little interesting. We start off with the Resistance deciding what to do with Bernard and Stubbs. There's a bit of an argument between Daniel Wu's character, that's the actor, I wrote that down, and C. He wants to go on to an extraction mission. Apparently there's something called outliers, which we've already alluded to, but this is the first time we hear the word is in this scene. And we're not entirely sure what an outlier is, I don't think. Like, they haven't really established that, but we're, like, conjecturing it's somebody that the parasites don't work on, right?
Last season wasn't Caleb. Caleb was an outlier. He just wasn't an outlier to, like, Halorus's flies. He was just an actual, like, outlier to, I guess, Roho-blow-em-up's predictions.
Yeah. Oh, do we think it's a Roho-blow-em outlier? Like, there's still...
I think it's similar. I think it's probably similar to that.
Because they have to be...
I don't think it has anything necessarily to do with Roho-blow-em, although it could just be the same thing. Like, if you were an outlier in Roho-blow-em simulations, then you're an outlier to resisting the flies. Or resisting the black goo, the symbiote.
Or Roho-blow-em.
The venom.
Yeah. Or Roho-blow-em's data exists, even though it's been destroyed, that data still exists somewhere, and it's predicted all the outliers already.
Yeah.
But again...
yeah, potentially, yeah.
But again, what's the point to the Roho... Because it doesn't seem like Roho-blow-em and Solomon really have any... Like, there's no purpose for them in this season.
No. Just kind of a silly flashback.
Right.
And let's Roho-blow-em-up.
Yeah, and apparently there's more Roho-blow-em-ups. Like, they were all over the place. We see this, like, big giant one. It's like, okay, they got rid of Roho-blow-em-up. Nope, psych, we have this one over here. That's...
So I'm fucking talking about in this show. That's the shit that annoys me. No one dies. Not even fucking Roho-blow-em dies. Fuck, man.
It's a surprise Roho-blow-em. So yeah, Daniel Wu's character Jay thinks this whole like weapon thing that they're hunting for and Bernard is talking about is bullshit. And he needs to go on this extraction mission. He wants to just go ahead and shoot Bernard and Stubbs. But there's an intervention as Jay and C point guns at each other. And C is allowed to go on her little mission with Bernard. But they hold Stubbs back. Stubbs has to go with Jay as collateral for safety.
This is very disappointing. This is one of the best parts of the show. You have Stubbs and Bernard together.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I mean, as soon as I knew as soon as they said they were getting split up, I was just like,
You're fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
He says that, it's the safest thing or something.
for safety, but not yours.
For safety, but
Stubbs goes, at least I'll be safe. He goes, I didn't mean your safety. And then Stubbs is like,
Fuck you, Bernard.
But so Stubbs might have to go with him because Stubbs is going to protect them.
or
He's the one looking out for their safety because they need to keep Maya or whoever alive.
or Stubbs needs to go to protect Christina from them when they go to get Maya.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, and then Stubbs is going to see Teddy and be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
That's right. And then we get the Stubbs and Teddy buddy cop show that we've all been wanting.
Actually, that would probably be pretty good.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what happens with Stubbs. That's where we leave Stubbs. And we follow Bernard and C into the desert. And they're doing Bernard's doing his cryptic multiverse stuff where he's dug everywhere else already. She's already killed him a shit ton of times. Blah, 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 blah.
Some stupid ass drones come in that are like from fucking Walmart or something, I guess. Because they can't see them under tarps.
Yeah.
So
drones can't see through tarps, and Superman can't see through lead.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That was a little strange. But, I did notice that they did put these like weird contraptions on the ground before they put these tarps over them, over the trucks and stuff. But they didn't mention anything about what they were. So I wonder if that's just like some lazy shit that they were just like, just put some things on the ground. And then people can be like, no, that's a technology that blocks the drone from seeing like infrared or anything at all.
We have drone blocking technology. We've got death lasers, but we don't have anything that can just fucking scan the desert for us.
Yeah. Okay. Then they got a stupid ass fucking fan. They dig with a fan. That doesn't fucking work. All right.
Hey.
I'm telling you, it doesn't work. And not only that, let's say it did work. They only went halfway. Fucking Bernard still had to go dig the shovel in and had to smash the shovel in fucking Maeve's face. Just turn the fan on a little longer.
Spoilers, Mike.
Fuck.
So yeah, Mike's right. That's insane. I mean, it's nice to see a big fan on the show, but
big fan.
Sometimes you make a joke.
Bernard gets some dialogue with C where he's talking about, she's out here for different reasons other than finding a weapon. It's very vague it's actually not vague the way it's cut, but we're keeping it kind of vague because it's the big part of our next part of our recap series, part 3, or recap section of this episode 4. And we're going to be getting in that soon, along with the Chris Nays Minute. All right, welcome back. Part 3 of our Westworld recap of season 4, episode 4, Generation Lost. It's the big chunk. You filled up on the salad and bread. You don't have room for this steak that's coming at you right now. Oh, you fucked up, because it's the Caleb Maeve portion of the show. Mike, a lot happened here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Let's get into it. So we start off. Oh, wait. We have to start off with the most important part. We have to start off with the Chris Nays Minute.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. This is Chris Nays with your Chris Nays Minute. I just have a question for you guys.
What's it?
If Maeve can use a computer to make a high-pitched noise that really, really bothers all the other robots, but not the humans, does that mean that all the robots have misophonia?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then also, second question, Mike, since you have misophonia,
Yes.
are you a robot? I'll take my answer off the air. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
I appreciate you.
Did you guys work this out ahead of time so you had a chance to test out your robot voice?
No.
That's pretty
Yep.
cool, though. Mike, are you a robot? You know, you have to fucking tell me if you are. It's the law.
Yeah.
I asked you.
I don't know. My brother Jim called me a robot the other day.
What?
He's like, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, I'm Mike. What? Just trying to teach you stuff, dude. Just trying to teach you about like some space stuff, man. Just trying to teach you about James Webb Telescope, and then call me a robot.
Okay. Doesn't look like anything to him.
Yep, pretty much.
So it starts off like the show starts off this episode. Caleb getting hacked by the flies. He's having some flashbacks back to the lighthouse or whatever that is. It's not a lighthouse. It's the Roho-blow-em-up last final backup of Roho-blow-em-up, the last node. And we see how he gets the injury that he gets in his flashback as they're retreating. He gets shot in a tum-tum.
Let me ask you something, Tim.
Sure.
Why wouldn't they just set the explosives off once they're outside?
Yes. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Whatever.
Wise.
I mean, I understand like this whole thing of like, well, if we don't make it out, like we got to set it right now. And like we got to run.
Mm-hmm.
But like
right now.
They could easily, they already knew how many people were in there. And then if they did go, I don't know, whatever. You know what? It's actually not that big of a deal. But it's fucking
It's
silly.
not that big of a deal. It is. One, why are there so few guards in the last Roho-blow-em factory? That's one.
So
Two,
blow them up.
Roho-blow-em-up. If there are only so few guards, why are they just meandering around? Like, shouldn't they be like camouflaged in the desert waiting for people to come around rather than walking around fucking inside?
Especially during the fucking robot wars or whatever the fuck the robot wars even is, because we don't get to know that. The whole fucking war, like the things that we thought was building up after, season 3, it just happens off screen. Well, remember the robot wars? Hey, and Caleb, hey Maeve, have you ever thought about what happens next? No, of course she doesn't.
You ever think about what happens next?
Of course she doesn't. She's a fucking idiot, all right? She's the one that got you into this mess, all right? She's the one that got you killed. She's... Yep, find out, yeah. Yeah, just because she was fucking curious. That's all.
Yep.
what's happened? Yeah.
So
And
meanwhile,
then he gets shot,
outside-
and they don't have the magical healing thing, which I don't fucking know why. Doesn't really make much sense. You'd think, if they're going on missions, they would have at least been able to probably get one of those magical healy thingies, that just magically heal wounds.
Uh-huh.
But no. None.
No.
And then Maeve is like, oh, but I could get into your limbic system.
Give you a taste of freedom.
You know what freedom is? Oh, holding the hand of my duta. My duta. My duta. Oh, it's a my duta. That's freedom? Like, that's... And how does that even help him? I guess, like...
It doesn't. Just because he thought, it's kind of a completely...
Check out this memory, this happy one of me.
with my daughter.
Your daughter? Yeah, you're never going to see her again. But here's a memory of me with my daughter, who I'll never fucking see again either. Like...
Oh. That is pretty fucked up.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have a daughter then. All right, I fucked that up.
No, that's true. He doesn't.
Yep.
That's why he has a daughter.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason. He had that taste of freedom, and he knows freedom is having a daughter. And as somebody who's had a daughter for about 1.5 years now, it's not. That's not freedom at all.
Freedom is having a daughter and teaching her about freedoms, the Second Amendment, shooting fucking guns. Yeah, that's freedom. Using ham radios and that's right.
It's like, listen, I got a daughter. I can't do shit. Okay.
Yep.
I can barely do this podcast. Back in modern times, Maeve finally realizes that William's a host, which is great.
I told you, she's a fucking dum-dum. Like, she's been
You're
a
one of
dum-dum
us.
for a long time.
It's like, you fucking shot him 3 times, and you're now figuring it out. Like, the fact that you can't reach out and sense him is a problem, because he's been kicking around for however many years now.
Yeah, and
like at this point, it's been 7 years since he's been a host. So, and apparently they have a history during the Robot Wars too, because she knows that William's the one that's making host goons and shit like that. So how do you not know that he's a host?
I would think she'd immediately be able to sense it. She did with the fucking senator, and then also a little later, Caleb's like, "Is that my daughter?" She's like, "Yeah, I know." What? Like, oh, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you know that. But, cool.
Like I said, she had to wait until the door was open.
Fuck.
She didn't have to. She didn't have to wait in the speakeasy or before they got to the speakeasy when she scanned everything. Yeah, there's no host here.
Yeah.
Maybe your shit just doesn't work right. She's superpowered at some scenes, and some scenes her shit just doesn't work.
Well, also the fucking robot man in black is beating the crap out of her, and then he has the upper hand, and then he just decides to walk away and go get his gun. He's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I'll go get my gun.
I got a shooter.
Let you run away. That's fun.
I'm a gun guy."
I like this. This is good. This is fun for me. I don't have anything else. Hey, Loris just makes me fucking hunt you guys, so I gotta make it fun for me. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, meanwhile, Caleb's like losing his shit to the flies and stuff like that. He's like asking whether or not Hale's gonna kill him, and she's decided, no, I'm just gonna keep you around because Maeve and Dolores like you. I want to see what the fuss is about. It's like, why? Somebody's got to have a reason for something in this goddamn show.
Hale Loris is like one of the most bland fucking like baddies, in my opinion. It's just like, oh, you're kind. Well, you guys did it first to us, so I'm gonna do it to you guys. Like, why worse? Because you did it to us, okay?
Meanwhile,
yeah. I mean,
wasn't it
women? Am I right?
Meanwhile, Robot women for sure.
Hey, that's why I always say,
happy wife, happy life.
Unless
My wife's dead.
there it is.
All right.
So
But she's so bland. I'm like, really? Like it's kind of what she's doing. Hail Oris. Just like,
meanwhile,
you guys did it, so I'm gonna do it to you. Oh.
Meanwhile, wasn't it Dolores that blew up her husband and kid?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of explains like what she's doing to Dolores / Christina, if Christina really is a Dolores.
Ooh. Never thought about that. That's a good point, Tim. That never crossed my mind.
Thank you. Oh, well, thank you.
That is very interesting.
Well, you heard it here first.
You heard it here.
I didn't get that from Reddit. Christina is just Hale getting revenge on Dolores for blowing up her kid and her husband. That wasn't even her kid and husband.
Wasn't even her duta. Everybody's always... This whole fucking show is just about people's daughters.
It's daughter world.
It is. Peter Abernathy's fucking daughter. Like...
Caleb's daughter, Maeve's daughter, Hale didn't have it. Did Hale have a daughter or a son?
I
thought she had a son. Yeah.
All right, it's all about their kids, all right? Fucking Bernard's fucking stupid kid. Like,
I mean, I don't want to presume who Bernard had a son.
Yeah.
It wasn't Bernard's, it was Arnold's. And then the hosts are all Ford's kids. So it's just meanwhile, Maeve hacks the the computer and turns down her hearing, which I don't know why she needs system administration at the park to turn down her own hearing. I would think she just has administrative capabilities over her own body without it. But okay. So she turns down her hearing and then blasts some sound.
I didn't even notice that she turned on her own hearing.
Yeah, that's what they show on the screen. You see her face pop up on the administration screen, and
I thought
she turns down her.
Sorry, I thought it was just showing her having access. Like, she gained access to their system, and then she was like reversing the fucking sound thingy.
I mean, that's part of, I think, what's happening. But the other thing is when it pops up with her face, there's this meter that's going down, and I think it says auditory system. She's turning off her hearing. Because when it cuts back to her when that sound is blasting, she's not, like, there's no that sound isn't there in her scene.
Okay.
She's just kind of chilling behind the post. So, right. I don't know why that doesn't affect Caleb at all. Unless she's, like, just blasting things inside their heads.
Well, I think she changed it for the hosts, for people that are robots. That's what I got from it. Instead of it being used to control humans and the parasite and making that sound or something.
Oh, it's coming from the same device. Okay, yeah. I get you.
Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's the sound.
Gotcha. Okay. So, it doesn't hurt Caleb. We shatter some glass. We knock out Man in Black and Hale, giving them time to capture Hale. And instead of just killing her right there on the spot, like they should have done. But, it's Westworld.
Dude, this whole scene that takes place from here on out is just completely silly. I mean, he just holds a piece of glass to her neck. And, the only thing, at least at that moment, I can accept that Hale didn't fucking rip his limbs off.
Yeah, she's a robot. Strong?
Yes. This was established. And he's just a fucking human. But I could still see her being, slightly under the influence and, confused a little bit and weak because of what
I was confused.
Maeve just did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So... But the rest of the fucking time, she doesn't try to do anything. When she's in the back of the fucking truck the whole time, she's like, I'll just sit here. I won't try to escape or anything. I won't use my robot legs to kick this fucking door open and exit this stupid, shitty 1920s fucking car.
Yep. Well, she did get knocked out, which
She was
apparently
not-
you can just knock out a robot. She did. She got Maeve knocked her head into the car and knocked her out and put her in the trunk.
That's even fucking dumber. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought she just she was being a dick and like hit her head on it. Like, you know, there's no,
Oh.
You're not serious. She did. I'm going to fucking rewatch that.
I'll have to rewatch
got
it too.
knocked out.
I didn't rewatch that scene.
You're
I
probably
just thought
right. You're probably right.
Because that'd be really dumb if you could just knock out a robot.
I got ahead of us. So,
okay. So yeah, I mean, after that, they're leaving Temperance, and like Mike said, Hale's not trying to get away, but the control unit comes back up online as they're leaving. I don't know who turns it back on. It just reboots.
William turned it back on, I believe. I think there was a scene where you see him wake up.
I don't remember when that scene actually happens, but yeah.
Okay.
So he's the parasites are taking effect to Caleb. He gets a gun, he points it at Maeve, but before he can shoot Maeve, he gets stabbed in the stomach because it's like this dude.
He's like, now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho. Ow! Oh! Oh, God. That's the same spot I got shot.
It's actually
how ironic this is.
It's actually the opposite side. It's not, both sides are fucked up.
I'm pretty sure. I thought it was the same side. Because
that guy
when I watched it before, that's what I thought. I thought it was the opposite side. But then when he originally fucking gets shot, and it's just looking at him, and he's grunting, it looks like he's holding his right side. Yeah. But then when Maeve pulls his shirt up, it looks like it's Caleb's left side.
Okay.
That's what I like. All right. And then he gets stabbed in his left side. So
yeah.
But I don't know if any of this is fucking real. We don't know. Are we seeing the real thing? Are we seeing just the fucking, 278th time?
Yeah. So we get a flashback of while Caleb's bleeding out in the recovering in the hospital, and apparently that's how he meets his wife. Which still I feel like would only make his daughter 6 years old instead of 7, but okay.
Yeah. Did they establish at all how long the robot wars are? Or I don't know if they really if these things are really established.
I don't know. It's supposed to be 7 years after the beginning. This season starts 7 years after season 3 ends.
Okay.
And supposedly
she's younger. I don't know. That means Bernard was in the fucking Sublime for 30 years.
30 years. Yeah. Not 23.
Yeah.
So yeah, we figure out that that's how he meets his wife, and then Maeve decides to fuck off because she's used her robot powers and given him the taste of freedom. So he knows that he wants a daughter now. So he makes a daughter with Uade, and he lives out his life. And
I'm gonna make a daughter with the first person I see.
Freedom.
You nurse, get over here.
Because I have something you don't have.
We need to go do it now. Because
I don't want to be here anymore.
You like that, baby? He's giving it to Uade.
How's that feel? Don't reach for it. You never pull it out in time.
He's still telling him, no, you have to do it like this. You've done it like this 1,000 times before.
I've seen you do it every way.
I've watched so many simulations of you doing it.
This is the way you get a daughter.
Yeah.
Every other way is a son.
Took me a while to figure it out. Yeah.
It's complicated.
I watched William. I watched him a lot, when he was...
I was naked.
Yeah.
I watched William watch his father-in-law jerk off.
Hey, that's all right. Well, we'll get to it.
Even though Maeve left for a while, we find out that scene that she has in the first episode of the season of her reaching out, she wanted to see how Caleb's doing. and they traced the signal, and that's how they found out where Caleb was, which again, why the fuck do they care about Caleb, where he is?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he's just a dude.
Well, Caleb is now Maeve's Duta. So that's why. And she wanted to see if her Duta had a Duta.
It's a very interesting way that you're saying daughter.
That's how she says it.
Doesn't she say daughter?
No.
She's got an
Not
accent.
in my mind.
She's
Not in
got
my
an English
mind.
accent.
Duta. Duta. My Duta. My Duta.
Sounds like you're saying Gunter. It sounds like
Duta.
sounds like a weird German pronunciation.
Duta.
But Mike, the German word for daughter is Tochter. So
Okay.
thank you, Duolingo.
Very nice. The Spanish one is hija. Hija. Yeah.
Heard it here first. It's all about daughters today. Watch us on the couch.
My hija.
So they get outside of the park itself into the surrounding Delos area, and Caleb gets Hale out of the trunk. They're heading up to this communication tower type thingy, and the man in black shows up for their little final
Surprise!
showdown.
You keep getting interrupted.
How did he get there?
He walked. He's got legs.
He's a robot, so
He's got jet boots. Jet boot William. They're fucking driving for days, and he's just fucking T1000 running.
That's what I'm saying. They
Down
drove
a
for a
different
long
road.
time. Well, all right. I
They
will
drove
say
for a day. They drove for a whole day, and they beat him there on foot. Some fucking Jason shit.
no. They're driving like a 1920s car, so it only goes like 25 miles an hour.
Could have walked faster. William took the Peter Baelish highway and
Yeah.
just shows up in Dorne.
And
no
where are
reason.
they going? How does Maeve even know where the fuck they're going? She doesn't know anything else. She doesn't even know the man in black's a robot. How the fuck does she know where to go?
All she knows is the park storyline. She's got a fucking GPS.
She's like, I got Google Maps. I don't know who's a robot though. There's robots there. I mean, don't hold it against me.
So, meanwhile, while Maeve and William, or Man in Black, have their final showdown-y what have you, Caleb's radioing his team for extraction. A very sinister sounding voice that has no like, oh my God, Caleb, I'm so happy to hear from you. It's like, Caleb, thank God, I am also Batman. It's like, yeah, your family's safe. We lost Carver, but everybody's safe. We're on our way.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, Caleb, I know you're bleeding out and you've got some stuff going on in your head, but this doesn't sound fishy to you.
No, yeah, Caleb. Everything's cool, dude. No big deal. Yeah. Oh, your family? Yeah. They're all good. Yeah.
Everything's fine.
We'll see you soon. Yep. 10-4. Roger. Over and out. Yep.
Everything's fine here now. How are you? Boring conversation anyway. So while Caleb's struggling with the parasite, it kind of he feels his subconscious slipping away, or whatever fucking Hale says.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't make any sense. But she orders him to pick up a gun and shoot Maeve. And he goes out and he points the gun at Maeve. And then he goes, no. And he doesn't actually go no. He just turns and shoots the man in black a couple times. And Maeve's like, oh, that's right. I had a friend here. Like all surprised and shit.
And so Maeve is like fucking 20 yards away, shooting her machine gun at him, misses every fucking shot. Caleb has a machine gun from 100 fucking yards away, hits everyone.
We've established that Caleb is really good at shooting people, and that's about it.
I guess so.
So Hale's very upset. She wants to know, how are you able to disobey me? And Caleb says,
Because I have something you don't have.
what, a kid? Because hers got blown up?
I have a tutor.
I have a doctor.
I have a kid. You don't.
We don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Human brain? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. It's probably like heart or love or some shit like that.
I have the power of friendship. Nobody likes you.
Captain Planet.
Oh. But that doesn't matter because we're interrupted. We never find out what he has because the man in black shoots Maeve in the chest and then subsequently stabs her. I don't know why he didn't stab her in the administration area, but okay. He had to get the gun. He can't leave his gun, man. That's part of him.
That's what I'm saying. That was silly.
But that doesn't matter because Maeve grapples him and activates a bunch of bombs on the property, which, why are there a bunch of bombs on the property? Why is there a net of bombs above ground on the property?
Yeah.
These are above ground mines, and a lot of them.
It didn't even look that bad of an explosion.
No,
like they would have been fine. They would have just kind of covered in sand a little bit. They just would have dug themselves out. But it just goes whoosh over them. Like a close up of them together and just little whoosh of sand over them. Yeah. Whoosh.
This is what happens when you use practical effects, Mike, and not the horrible fire CGI that they used in the first episode of the season.
Well, that CGI whoosh was fucking stupid too. But the practical effect, they did use practical effects of the explosions.
Right.
Now that is a demolition site or whatever, because they are expanding a park. That's a park expansion place.
That makes sense then.
Yeah. So, it only kind of makes sense. So they just leave these explosives. Like, who's fucking working this place anyway? There's guys that are just fucking. Oh man, we set the explosive, but time to clock out, boys. Well. No one will mess with them. It's cool.
Can't blow anything up till the morning. Yep. It's the law. It's the robot law.
Yep. The boss said no OT. So see you in the morning.
So then if you thought everything that we've talked about up till now was silly, and remember, I actually liked the episode, despite the fact that there's goofiness with it. I'm still on board with this season of Westworld.
It's Westworld. It's always going to be that way, But that's what the show is. So,
but if you thought that was weird, then this is where shit gets really weird. Because for some reason, Caleb blacks out. And Hale asks him basically, hey, you okay? You remember what happened? And this is our dramatic reveal, which is not that dramatic. It blew a lot of people's minds on Reddit. It did not blow mine. This was nowhere near as revolutionary. I don't know what the actual word I'm trying to say is. The reveal of Bernard when Bernard says "what door" in season 1 was out of the park. This was just I figure we figured this is Westworld. This is when this is supposed to happen.
No one dies, We know how it goes. So oh, okay, he's a robot too.
So it's not Caleb's people that's coming for him. It's Hale's people, and they storm in and they shoot Caleb, and it turns out Caleb died right there, right then.
Shot his dick off.
I like what they shot him in the dick.
Yeah. Generation lost, That's what happens when you shoot somebody in the dick, because then there's not a next generation.
And that's what we kind of find out is Hale is pontificating over her victory or her reveal that Caleb died a long time ago. And since then, she's perfected the virus. Didn't work so well on older people, but it worked great on kids, yada, yada, yada. And that's why we don't see... And this is something I never paid enough attention to notice this. Anytime we see Christina's future / city, blah, 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 there's no old people.
True.
It's all people around what would be Frankie's age. Like 20, we're talking like people like 20s to 30s.
Yeah, the oldest person you probably see is that homeless guy, but he's not even old either.
He's not particularly old, but he might be old enough that the parasite doesn't work on him, and that's why he sees the tower and blah, 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 blah.
Very nice. Man, I can't believe that. Wow.
How did we miss this?
That's great.
Yep. So I guess old people are smooth-brained folks.
Yeah, they're very
convince the kids,
very rigid. And I mean, if you know any,
basically the Catholic Church, so.
or any of those old people,
teach them when they're young.
Any of those old people that only watch cable news all day, every
right.
day. Those people, those people had to go in Hale's new world because the parasites wouldn't affect them. Which, not all bad. But so that's when we flash back and forth. I didn't miss this, but we've been neglectful in mentioning that during this time, this is when we're flashing back and forth between Caleb and Maeve and Bernard and C, which this part, like the pacing of this, is very well done. Even if the reveal itself is kind of hokey or like, what's really going on, the way they cut between and the pacing of this is just second to none. We do get the confirmation that Frankie's out there looking for her dad in the desert. This is where he died. There should be a body. Blah, blah, blah. Bernard informs her that, I'm sorry, it's not your father. Caleb's not here. The first time Bernard says Caleb's name, she didn't tell him Caleb's name. But the weapon I promised you is, and it's surprise, surprise, it's Maeve. It's not the man in white like we were hoping.
Hey, the man in black is still there.
Yeah, but that man in that black wouldn't be the weapon. You need a different William.
What?
Unless they just reprogram that
They
William.
could change him. Yeah, they could change him.
They could. But
hey, I could see them doing some fucking trickery to us. This is Westworld, all right? I don't actually think this is the case. I think it's definitely Maeve. But it is interesting that the man in black should be right there as well.
In theory.
So
that is very true. So jumping back to Hale and Caleb, we find out that Caleb's undergoing the fidelity test. This is the 278th iteration. Luckily, he didn't jerk off while he was in the control tower with Hale.
Yes, he did.
Oh, did he?
She's been watching him jerk it for years.
She's been
if anything, she's been watching him, like you said, do it. It wasn't Bernard watching. It was her watching him,
I'm pretty
with
sure
his wife.
I'm pretty sure Caleb doesn't masturbate because he wouldn't be so fucking pent up and angry and panting all the time if he did. He'd probably have more dialogue if he jerked off some more.
Yeah. No more.
That's just my opinion. And then he runs outside. We cut back, like the facade has dropped. He's not in the control tower. He's in like an interview room with Hale. He's all in white. And he fucking books it outside, and
he bumps into Dolores.
He does not. That is not Dolores.
It looked like I know.
It looks a lot like her. When I first saw it, it's like, dude, he just bolted right past Dolores. And then when I watched the second time on the computer monitor, it was closer to my face. It's like, oh, that's not her. Yeah. It's just somebody with long dark hair. Yeah. But that would have been cool. But it's clearly the Olympian building. It's the same. Yes. It's the same fucking building that Christina works at. And yeah, that's where he sees the tower. And which is interesting that he sees the tower. I don't know if only hosts can see the tower or
I don't know. I guess depends if you're, I don't know. I bet if you're a host, you could still not see it if it's programmed out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was plenty of things in Westworld, right? That doesn't look like anything to me. You know, that can be programmed out. So, and he's not just like a host, really. Like, this is something different. This is like a mixed version, Maybe do Do we know if he's the first human to get fidelity, maybe?
Well, he wouldn't be the first human to get fidelity because William would be the first human to get fidelity.
But does William... I don't know if that's even confirmed that William has gained fidelity. I don't think he has. I think it's just some like slight version of him.
Oh,
like,
okay.
So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong about this, but that's what I was assuming in the show, that like this William is not actually William fidelity tested.
Fidelity William? Okay.
Yes.
So,
I think it's just a part of William. Like, I still think there's two Williams, two robot Williams. One is the murder one that they used a part of that real William that was in the park. That was kind of murderer William. Then they used a part of the William to be the business William.
So there's Cowboy Man in Black, and then there's Business Time Man in Black.
Yeah, business time, man.
Okay. That makes sense. The fucking Man in Black thing, or the whole William thing, yeah, I don't know. Because I don't even know if Fidelity William exists in this timeline. I don't even know if he's really part of the story or if he was just some what the fuck. Because the whole thing with the fidelity test, when we see it in season 2, like, I thought the way they set it up, we were led to believe that he died then. Like, he either died from his wounds outside the forge when he fought Wyatt, or that he died on the way down in the elevator. He fucking bled out or something. I figured that was the part of the fidelity test. You have to come to come to grips with whether or not you died there and not fucking have a breakdown. But then obviously he's alive in season 3, so that fucking throws that out. So he didn't die then in season 2, but he did die at some point. Season 3, he gets his fucking throat cut, and whatever.
It's all just William in the Sublime. And that's what this whole show is. He's building his own worlds.
Mm-hmm. And then
each season is somebody else's Sublime world.
And then this William gets blown the fuck up. William's died like 4 times already in this fucking show. I know what park William's in. It's fucking South Park, and he's Kenny.
Oh my God. Yep.
I still don't know like why Caleb. That the other thing is, so we've gotten fidelity with Caleb, and it's again why. And what does Caleb matter now at this point? We still don't know. It's now getting a little tiresome.
Yes, I agree. It's like, why is this guy so special? Like, I don't know. Maybe he's not the only person that's special. Maybe she just wanted an outlier. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe because she does say, "Oh, Maeve thought you were special" or something, and then she wants to know why. And
both Maeve and Dolores were fond of you, and I'm inclined to keep you around just to see what all the fuss is about. So she's been doing.
Who knows? Maybe Dolores is just bored. I mean, she's taking over the fucking world. Like, what else does she have? Do? Like, she could literally be, if she does have feelings, she could be fucking lonely and bored. I don't know. Maybe that's why Christina is there. You know, she's like, I don't know, just make someone who looks like old me, and I want someone who like is living a life that I wish I had.
Maybe,
and I can watch it.
Maybe. I mean, the only thing that would actually make sense is because he's trying to use Caleb as leverage against C and the rebellion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's like, did she know that C was part of the rebellion until recently? So, like, how long would you be? Presumably, she's been doing the fidelity test this entire time. If there's been 200 and something whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Oh, side note, just a little quick side note. Yeah, C's girlfriend is going to die.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't say her name, but I'm pretty sure her name is Smoochies.
Smoochies. One kiss. And that's yeah. So let's see. What questions have been answered? What questions are we left with after the show? I mean, there's so many. We still don't know what Caleb's actual significance is. That's the big thing.
What's going on with Christina and Teddy?
Right. We did answer whether or not he was a host twice, because he wasn't one and then he was one. So the flies totally affected him. He didn't have, he had some resistance to it, but apparently it wasn't anything that Maeve did. unless it was the power of freedom and friendship.
Hey, before you go on, I just have a quick question. So do you think everything we saw is reliable as far as like, so the story with Maeve and Caleb, did all that stuff actually happen?
I think so.
Up until the point that, you know, he got shot by Haloris's men?
I think so. I think the moment he does the blackout, like when she says to wake up, I think everything is that timeline up until that point. They didn't do any crazy.
What we saw is real, like we don't have like an unreliable like narrator type of deal, or that's not really what to call it, but
I know what you're saying. I don't think so. I'm inclined to take it at face value. They didn't do any like crazy like letterboxing shit or anything like that to kind of like hint at it.
The only thing I think that it's like, because if all we saw was like actually did happen, it just seems weird that fucking Haloris didn't try to fight at all. Like, I don't know. She was just like kind of going along with it. And a couple times she has some weird smirks, but you know,
she's pretty cocky.
Out loud, I guess. You know, she's
got a lot of like what's the hubris. Hubris is the word for what Halo has.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think everything that we saw was true, and all the goofiness is just you know, sloppy writing.
Yeah, a little bit of that, and a little bit of, you know, just like I said, I had to say it out loud, I guess, to realize like, oh yeah, like Hale is, you know, a little cocky.
Yeah. So supposedly, like, I thought there was going to be 3 timelines. Apparently there's just the 2. Because it seems like we're all caught up with whatever. There was a predominant theory on Reddit that I said the timeline was Maeve and Caleb, then it was Christina in a near future, and then Bernard was a far future. There was a predominant theory where it's Maeve and Caleb, then it's Bernard, then it's Christina, where Bernard is the one that actually gets Teddy, because Teddy is in the Sublime, and Bernard's the only person with keys to it, which is possible, except for the fact that I'm really, really convinced that Maya is the outlier that they're after, which puts everything at that same time period.
Yeah.
We confirmed that Maeve is the weapon, which is like, fucking why? I mean, if her powers weren't enough 23 years ago, why would they be enough now? Aside from the fact that we've established that she can play with the sound a little bit, but again, fucking Hale's had 23 years to upgrade her systems and upgrade her hosts and blah, 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 blah. It's like, if Maeve's powers were faulty then, they should be fucking obsolete at this point.
No, they'll be like twice as strong.
Twice as strong.
What happens?
It's sand power, desert power.
She's brought back. She's brought back, you know, she's resurrected. So do we know if brain balls keep working if their bodies don't work? Like, is Maeve right now, did she go through 23 years just in her own head?
I think.
Or is like, it's just off and it's like an instant, you know, oh, I was dead. Oh, I'm back alive. What the fuck? I think 23 years.
That's a good question. I don't know. I think when they were plugged into the forge, they ran. Like they were still running through their loops even without their bodies. But yeah, if you're down and out, I would assume if her brain ball was active, she could get out. But
I'm hoping her brain ball was working the whole time, and then like she was just imagining her with her ducha, and she got that completely out of her system, and never have to hear it again.
So yeah, we have to wrap up here. So here's the big questions. Do we still think, presumably that device that Flesh William was in is some kind of cryo thing? So we think he's still alive, right? That she still just like trots him out every so often?
I guess, yeah.
And if that's the case, so we might still we'll have the upgraded new William that she rebuilds. Presumably Flesh William's still there. We don't know if Fidelity William plays a role at all yet, because I rewatched that post-credit scene yesterday, and it seems completely unrelated to anything that's going on.
Yeah, I watched it too. Yeah, it was a little weird. I was trying to look to see if like where they were at, looks anything like I don't know, like the Hoover Dam or something or anything like that. Like, that doesn't look like anything to me.
Oh, fuck, you are a robot.
But William, I bet real William somehow fucking talks fake William into like, I don't know, changing his robot ways.
Maybe. The other question is, if Flesh William can survive getting a throat slash and being stuck in a cryo thing, do we think Flesh Caleb is still alive in a fucking thing too?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, you know what? We don't even know. Oh, okay.
There was no body.
You did ask. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if when we see real Flesh William, that could have been like 23 years ago. That scene, right?
Yeah. Is
that what you just asked me, right? Yeah. And then I don't know.
Yes, I'm asking you if the 23 years ago cryo William is still alive, because apparently he would have been in cryo for 7 years already at that point.
Oh, that's right. Okay, in cryo. All right.
Or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like if he's still aging in there. So the question is whether or not.
No aging. Yep. Still just same fleshy dude.
So then the next question would be, do we think Caleb might actually still be alive?
Yep. Sorry. I was
confused.
Been a long podcast.
It has. This has been.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible that he could be cryo froze too, but I don't know if she would do that. I don't know if she would need to do that. That is a good question though. Like, I don't know. Yeah, could be. I bet she fucking is. I bet she fucking is, and he's gonna reunite with his daughter. Maeve is gonna fucking bring him back to life. Real Caleb. Someone's probably gonna have to shoot fucking fake Caleb, Fidelity Caleb.
Yeah.
Like who kills Fidelity Caleb?
Or
does Fidelity Caleb become like a Man in Black and fucking go after his daughter and try to kill her?
Fidelity Caleb probably.
This is where you kill yourself.
And the Roho-blow-em-up is true, and he throws himself off of a pier or something.
Yes.
That's what I think. So, hey, do you think we'll get a Ford cameo this season?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't think he'll ever come back.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. There is something in the trailer or next on, right? Somebody playing the piano, but...
Yeah, but the hand's all mangled, which is why I thought it might actually be Flesh William, because he had that backfire with the gun in season 2.
I bet it's just some random guy that was forced to play the piano like for a very, very, very long time.
That makes sense. So yeah, basically our main theories, I think right now, is that Maya is part of the Resistance or the outlier that needs to be rescued, getting extracted, or at least that's my theory. And Mike also thinks she's an outlier. I think she might be part of a Resistance. I think Stubbs is going to save Christina from the Resistance and team up with Teddy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the Teddy is still the big what the fuck in this. It's like, is who brought him back and why. So, and I still want to know what's going on with DeLawrence. He should still be out there somewhere.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see him next episode. Hopefully this season they don't do some stupid fucking bottle episode. They only got 4 more episodes left, and I hope one isn't like wasted on like doing some artsy fartsy like thing that doesn't even fucking give you much more context and information and character building.
Oh yeah, what was that episode?
They like to do those though.
Genre.
So they probably will. They'll probably do one of Maeve. You know, her brain ball probably is fucking working the whole time, and they're gonna do a whole episode of just her fucking living
in the field with her daughter. We couldn't get the Bernard and Akecheta episode, but we get more Maeve in the field with her daughter stuff. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Or a bottle episode of just Bernard and the fucking Sublime. I don't know.
Well, that's going to do it for us.
Maybe not.
So thank you so much for listening. Like I said, Mike and I are on the Westworld subreddit. So if you listen to the podcast, you see us on there, reach out, tell us you like the show, or tell us you hate the show. But I mean, if you've made it this far, you got to like it at least a little bit. So we will talk to you next week. And until next time,
keep questioning the nature of your reality.
Let's end this, shall we?